Channel 29, KBAK-TV, Bakersfield.
Now, the Southern Valley's news leader. This is News 29 at 11 with Rick Fletcher, Greg Kerr on sports, and Jeff Kelly with your wake-up forecast. Now, News 29 at 11.
Good evening. A plane hits the beach near Los Angeles. A mother tries to smother her baby only to be caught on videotape. And it is a question of police brutality here in Bakersfield. But first, our top story tonight. Residents in one of our city's most economically depressed areas may finally get the money to repair their homes. A new city project will allow East Bakersfield's Lakeview area homeowners to apply for low-interest long-term loans and other city help in restoring their neighborhood. News 29's Tony Lee says the project was officially started today.
The audience was filled with people who had lived in the area for many years. They had tried many times to remove the graffiti, to replant their lawns and put fences back up, but each time they were torn down again. Goral Street is where the city decided to concentrate its pilot project. They will furnish garbage cans, sponsor additional trash pickups, and send more police into the area. They believe a neighborhood watch system and a sense of pride may make the plan work.
So we talked about the neighborhood watch program, that the neighborhood needs to take control of its own street, its own destiny, and if they see something like that, call the police, call those city resources that are available to everybody in this community, access to them. Win your own street back. Keep it your street, keep it your neighborhood.
I think that the people will have pride in keeping it clean like they did in Phoenix. Once they begin to get rid of all these old junky automobiles, get them out of sight and off the road, they begin to paint their homes and clean up the high grass and stuff like that. Then they see that the community is developing into something that you could be proud of, and especially when they get the watch program.
There are calls for the citizens to reclaim their neighborhoods and to run out the bad elements. Some say they will call the law more often, but others say they'll simply try to live in peace but keep a low profile. Some people who wish not to be identified say they question whether this program will really work. They say as soon as the work is done, others may come along and tear it down. They question whether this will work unless the people here have pride not only in their neighborhood, but in themselves. Near Lakeview Avenue, Tony Lee, News 29.
And a survey conducted in the area told officials that residents wanted a ban on loud music and a crackdown on crack houses. Did police break the neck of a former Cal State basketball player during an arrest 2 years ago? A trial to answer those charges of police brutality is underway today. The trial centers around Joe Evans, who was arrested on a February evening back in 1989 on charges of loitering and resisting arrest. Those charges have been dropped, but Evans alleges the arresting police officer slammed him to the ground, breaking his neck. A police internal affairs investigation into the incident has failed to develop a clear picture of the arresting officer's actions. Similarly, assisting officers have all told different stories. The city offered a $300,000 settlement before the trial, but Evans' attorney wants more money for his client. Opening arguments will begin tomorrow. Kern County officials say they appear to be winning the battle against the ash whitefly. That is a tiny pest that poses a threat to trees and shrubs around homes, and if left unchecked, could threaten crops. As News 29's George Franco reports, the battle is being won with the help of a tiny, stingless wasp.
It is a microscopic battle underneath leaves of household trees. The ash whitefly, seen as white dots, versus the tiny, stingless wasp. The battle started last summer when the first group of wasps was released to devour the white flies. More were released today.
The progress we got so far is very encouraging, and if it continues at the same pace, we'll be able to see a significant reduction in the ash whitefly population probably in the next year.
Encouraging because the stingless wasp survived the recent harsh winter, but so did the white fly. Now it could boil down to a numbers game.
What's critical in the battle against the ash whitefly is the wasp life cycle. Every 3 weeks, the wasp reproduces about 200 eggs. Then those 200 wasps reproduce another 200 eggs, and so on and so on. So it's hoped the wasp population will overcome the ash whitefly population.
And this multiplication hopefully will get us to the number toward the end of the season, which will compete with the ash whitefly.
How many would that be?
Before the end of the season will be several millions of this parasite flying all over Bakersfield.
Since the whitefly multiplies at about the same pace, the key is the way the wasp destroys the fly. They lay their eggs in the fly's egg clusters, which hatch and destroy the white fly even before the flies can hatch. But just to be on the safe side, ag officials will soon introduce a special ladybug in the battle against the ash whitefly. In Oildale, George Franco, News 29.
By the way, the stingless wasps are not harmful to humans. Well, you'll recall News 29 told you recently about Lolita Licardo and her immediate family who live in Delano. Lolita's relatives live in the Philippines near the grumbling Mount Pinatubo. Today, she has word from them. Finally, Lolita got word from one of her relatives in the Philippines saying all of her family members were safely evacuated from the area, including her 3 brothers, her sister, father, mother, and 3rd son. So some good news in light of the tragedy that continues to plague that country. It was 41 years ago today that the Korean War began. More than 54,000 Americans died in the 3 years of fighting there. But it was only yesterday that the remains of 11 American servicemen listed missing in the war arrived in Honolulu. The remains were flown to Hawaii after being turned over to the U.S. in the Korean Demilitarized Zone. It is the largest number of remains returned to the U.S. since the end of the Korean War. This next story is one that may startle you just a bit. It involves a mother who tried to kill her own child. In this video, you will see a woman trying to suffocate her own child in a Texas children's hospital. Little did she know she was being captured on videotape. Kathy Knighton is being held in jail tonight, charged with trying to kill her 10-month-old baby daughter. Doctors say there have been several such cases across the country in the last several years. Well, Dow Chemical officials are trying to determine why a valve blew off a pipe at the company's Pittsburgh, California plant this afternoon. As we reported earlier at News 29 at 6, at least 32 employees were injured when lethal chlorine gas was sucked into an intake duct leading into the plant's control room. 12 to 15 workers are being treated at area hospitals. The gas release apparently posed no danger to the surrounding community. Well, motorists driving by Boeing Field in Seattle today might have been shocked. It certainly was an alarming sight. Giant flames, a huge cloud of smoke, and flashing lights all on the runway were only part of a drill there. Major airports have to test their disaster plans every so often, like we do here at Meadows Field. And airport officials in Seattle say the toughest part of planning for a disaster is getting all the emergency teams coordinated. Officials say they're satisfied with the way things went today there. Now, it may have been a drill in Seattle, but not so for a pilot down south in Laguna Beach. The unidentified pilot was having engine trouble with his Cessna aircraft. He made a few passes over the beach, hoping to get everyone out of the way. But beachgoers thought he was waving and merely waved back at him. When the engine finally gave out, the pilot set his plane down as close to the water as possible. The plane tipped over as it hit the sand, but the pilot and his passenger walked away without injuries. Still to come on News 29, Boswell Days is coming to Bakersfield, and we'll find out how the Judds feel about their final tour together.
Now, leasing a Cadillac is an even safer investment. Only $469 a month and no down payment on a new Cadillac DeVille with the security of a steel safety cage, driver's side airbag, anti-lock brakes, V8 power, and more, all standard. And at only $469 a month, a new Cadillac provides for your financial security as well, if you act by June 30th.
See your Central California Cadillac dealer and drive in Cadillac style.
If you've got recreation plans, stop by Floyd Stores first for the best buys in town. This week we have a very special offer on factory irregular Coleman sleeping bags. These bags are made of DuPont Hollow-Fill 808 with a poly cotton outer and cotton flannel lining. Floyd's price only $19.99. Other specials: beat the heat in cool shorts, regularly $9.50. Your choice $6.99. Men's tank tops $4.50 or screen print t-shirts $4. Summer fun and summer savings at all Floyd Stores in Bakersfield, Shafter, and Delano.
Stop Pain is a potent non-prescription formula that penetrates quickly and deeply, providing temporary relief for minor aches and pains of muscles. Try Stop Pain for amazing results. Available at these local Good Neighbor pharmacy stores today.
Workers' compensation. How long will your benefits last? They say your injury has healed and you can return to work. You say you're still hurt and unable to work. If they attempt to terminate your benefits, you can do something about it. Call us and we'll show you how. Shane Younger help people who've been injured in an accident. Call 323-4000. They're in your corner.
The 4th of July is Independence Day, but this year it will also be known as Sandra Boswell Day here in Bakersfield. Sandra Boswell is one of the key people who helped to bring people together in Kern County during the Gulf crisis. The Board of Supervisors honored Boswell today, designating the 4th of July as Sandra Boswell Day. She was the strong arm of the Middle East group support, but she adds that there are still about 175 more Kern County service people in the Gulf, and all should be back by August. Tonight was a special event for country music lovers here in Bakersfield. If you were lucky enough to have a ticket, you got to see the Pirates of the Mississippi, Dan Seals, and the Judds in concert at Mesa Marin. It is the farewell tour for the Judds, as the maternal half of the mother-daughter duo has an illness that is forcing her to stop touring. During an interview with Barbara Walters recently, Naomi Judd said leaving her daughter's side on the stage will be hard.
I recognize and accept that, because I've not had an easy life, and when I get out there on that stage, it's fairy tale time for me. We have to get the hook to get her off.
Yeah, they do enjoy working together. And they have a show tonight, and we'll show you a little bit of that later on.
Wonderful weather, too. And when will it start to act like summer around here? We'll let you in on that when we come right back.
Open here and let the good times rock and roll. Mercury Capri. Its quick 16-valve engine, independent suspension, 2+2 seating, and more means you got it made in the shade. Mercy. And sun. Come on, catch the fun of Mercury Capri at your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
Oh, pretty woman. This minivan goes shopping, gets the kids to school, carries camping gear. When I need brakes, I can't wait for my dealer to fix them.
Then come to Midas.
Hey, this is a minivan.
Hey, this is Midas. Cars, trucks, vans, and minivans. We're the brake experts. We do the job right with a written estimate up front, Midas-trained experts, and a great guarantee.
What about price?
You get a good price and a lot of value. For brakes done right, nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
Don't miss Jeff Kelly's Wake Up Forecast so you can plan for tomorrow. That and the rest of the weather's still to come on News 29.
This is the family room. Every house needs one. Has plenty of comfortable places to hang out, listen to music, take a nap. It's the Ford Aerostar. It's built for trips to the Grand Canyon or to the supermarket. This part's easy. And it runs and runs because it's a Ford. If you need more room for your family, don't build onto your house. Add an Aerostar.
Looking for an easier way to take home 3 delicious kinds of Kentucky Fried Chicken? Introducing the KFC Variety Bucket. For just $9.99, you and your family get tender, juicy original recipe, spicy, tangy hot wings, and extra tasty crispy, all in the KFC Variety Bucket. So drop into KFC for 3 great tastes at 1 great price, $9.99.
You know, almost 11 years ago, I moved from Arizona to California, and now I know why.
Yes, because it was 107 today in Arizona, in Tucson, Arizona. Right along the coast here, we're getting that nice sea breeze. How much longer is it going to last? Maybe a couple of more days, and then we're out of this. Boy, it's been nice. It's summertime, officially summer, as we go out and watch the guys playing some basketball tonight, as we take a look at our almanac. Isn't this great? 82 degrees was the best we did today, and around the valley, it only got up to like 84 degrees today in Taft and Edison. Those were the hot spots for the valley. 55 for the low, and more of the same. It looks like tomorrow just a little bit warmer. Normal 95 and 67. Right now at the airport, 67 degrees. open those windows, give the AC the night off again. 47% our relative humidity, so a little bit more moisture in the air, and the barometer is starting to rise. Winds are calm, though, and visibility at 30 miles. It was a nice night out there for the Judds concert at Mesa Marin, as a lot of you know. It seems like the whole town was there. Yes, this is Hurricane Carlos, and some of the moisture, some of those high clouds you saw tonight are due to this. Jet stream picked up some of those clouds and moved them into our region, but no rain out of this. Will be some rain out of this storm you see out in the Pacific, into the Pacific Northwest. They had some heavy rain, like 4 inches of rain in eastern Washington today came down, and they had some flooding there. Also some hectic weather along the Gulf Coast region, a lot of moisture along here. We had heavy rains again in Mississippi, Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, 3.5 inches today. And at some spots in Alabama today, 6 inches of rain in about a 3-hour period, amazingly so. And again, up here in the northern tier of states, Montana and North Dakota today with heavy rain showers. They're going to have it again tomorrow. A tornado touched down just outside of Billings, Montana. Now let's take a look at our forecast for tomorrow and see what we have. Frontal system moving into the, well, out of the plain states into the Great Lakes region. We'll have some thunder showers again, and more thunder showers again down through the southeast tomorrow. More rain, hot and humid for those folks. Very, very hot and very, very humid. We might add that. Temperatures in the 90s, humidity levels in the 80s, and some rain showers too. It's crazy. Again, more rain coming out of the Pacific Northwest tomorrow afternoon. Moving rather rapidly, this next storm system will be coming in, and they'll have some rain right behind that in through Washington. How about temperatures for tonight? 48 degrees for Lake Isabella, 58 for Taft, 43 in the higher elevations there in Fraser Park. Now tomorrow, it's going to be another nice day, 87 degrees. We're talking about almost 10 degrees below normal, 72 for Tehachapi. And our air quality, again, is in the moderate range. It's wonderful. Slightly warmer tomorrow, but that's about it. Not many changes on tap for us. LA will warm up to 77. They were at 73 today. Central Valley, 85. Central Coast up to 67 degrees and a quicker burn off again. And our forecast, the Long Ranger, as we get into the weekend, we'll start to get back to normal again. And then, well, next week, maybe the hundreds will return. Yes, and we can't do our job here without our sound lady. It's Courtney's birthday. She turns 21. She takes care of all the audio here, and happy birthday to Courtney.
All right, very good. Next up, sports.
Yay, Courtney. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the B Dodgers. They, of course, have their one-game homestand. Isn't that great stuff? Dodgers, Angels, and yes, you're looking at them, the B Dodgers. We'll have it all in a moment.
Just try to stay calm and tell me what's wrong.
It's my father. He's got a wrench. He's trying to make us see.
This is HPS-1 responding to uncontrolled drain clog. ETA 5 minutes.
We have an HPS unit on its way now. Just stay on the line, and whatever you do, don't try to stop your father.
Let's go!
I think I hear them now.
Where is he? He's in there! Stay back! I can fix it myself!
Another senseless plumbing tragedy. The next time you're faced with a pipe-threatening situation, don't take the wrench into your own hands. Call HPS at 324-2121.
If you buy a Nissan base truck right now, you can get a chrome bumper and chrome mirrors at no extra charge. Or fog lights, splash guards, and a grill guard at no extra charge. Or your choice of up to $300 worth of select accessories. And with up to $1,000 in factory-to-dealer incentives, you could save a total of $1,300. So see your nearest Nissan dealer now and build your own truck.
I was actively seeking a new employee. And so I remember looking in the phone book and seeing Employers Training Resource listed there and called. My first contact with Employers Training Resource was exceedingly rewarding because they sent me an employee that topped any I think I've ever had. The two people that we've gotten from Employers Training Resource have fit in beautifully. Employers Training Resource did a beautiful job for Realty World Metro. I will use them again.
Greg's here with sports, and B Dodgers back home for a one-game homestand.
Yeah, these guys just aren't around enough, you know? And we have no say as to when they're here and when they're gone, but I tell you what, B Dodgers home tonight to the Visalia Oaks, and if you miss the game, you miss the entire homestand. That's right, a one-game homestand after 11 days on the road, only in the Cal League. Thank you very much. Jody Treadwell on the mound, and he got in trouble in the first inning. Scott Stahoviak with the base hit. Pat Mears comes in to score. The Oaks on top 1-0. Bottom half of the first, though, B-Dodgers score twice, and Mike Piazza with his Cal League leading 17th home run of the year. B-Dodgers on top 2-1. They would extend the lead later on, bottom half of the fourth inning. Alan Lewis to the plate. The bouncer off the mound goes up the middle. That would bring home Ron Moore. 3-1. They would extend it to 4-1, but wouldn't you know it, a 4-run sixth inning for Visalia. And right now, it is not over yet. In the ninth inning, we understand the Oaks leading the B-Dodgers by a count of 5-4. We'll try and get you a final. Can we put this Orel Hershiser comeback thing to rest? I mean, he's long since shown he is healthy. Now it's a matter of winning a few games. Tonight, Hershiser and the Dodgers hosting the San Francisco Giants, and not a good night for Orel, as you're about to find out. Top of the fifth, Will Clark. He singles the other way. That will bring home a pair, turn a Dodger 1-0 lead into a 2-1 deficit. And then the Dodgers actually get a break coming up here. Bases loaded, Greg Litton is going to go the other way. Double, ground rule double. So the guy on first who would have easily scored had to go back. But a 4-run fifth, and the Giants go on to win it by a final of 9-4. Numbers in the National League: San Francisco over the Dodgers. By the way, Mike Felder had 5 hits, scored 4 times. Cincinnati over San Diego 8-2. Elsewhere, Houston over Atlanta 1-0. Pete Harnisch over Tom Glavine in that one. Chicago breaks a 9-game losing streak. New York wins on a grand slam by Kevin McReynolds in the 9th. And you've got St. Louis over Philadelphia by a final of 10-9. The Angels in Kansas City tonight, and along the way to a 4-2 win, they tied an American League record with their 12th consecutive error-free game, and pitchers just love that. They say, hey, defense, do it every time. 2-2 in the 8th. Dave Gallagher, the chopper, fielder's choice, would score Luis Sojo, so the Angels take a 3-2 lead. Then Wally Joyner follows with a single up the middle. Angels go on to win by a final of 4-2. Elsewhere, we got to show you Seattle at Chicago, because this guy, yeah, Jack McDowell, a no-hitter into the 8th inning, but Scott Bradley, who's hitting all of 181, singles to break up the no-hitter, but Chicago wins it 4-0. American League numbers look like this. The Angels win 4-2. Minnesota over Toronto in a battle of division leaders. Elsewhere, you have Chicago over Seattle, Texas 6-1 over Oakland and Dave Stewart. Milwaukee scores 8 times in the 8th to win, and it was Baltimore over Cleveland 5-3-12. And finally, Roger Clemens bounced around. Yankees over the Red Sox 6-4. Wimbledon, Martina Navratilova, the defending champion. You know, she's won this title 9 times, so you can imagine her surprise when she came to the tournament as the number 3 seed. What gives? What does she have to do? Well, here she is. Bottom of your screen, serving to Elna Reinach of South Africa. She actually dropped the first set, believe it or not, 4-6. She comes back, however, to win in 3 sets, the final 4-6, 6-2, 6-4. Martina talks about a tough round 1.
I mean, I was all over the place emotionally. I was all over the place. It was, you know, I was, oh, I'm just really going to enjoy this occasion, you know, defending champion, this and that. Next thing I know, it was the first set, and I'm in a battle.
To the men's side, John McEnroe up against Jaime Asins of Brazil, and McEnroe in control. Top of your screen here, getting the point. And at the bottom of your screen for match point, McEnroe goes on to win it in straight sets, the final 6-1, 6-2, and 6-4. We should mention that 6 ladies, all seeded on the women's side, did advance, including Mary Jo Fernandez and a couple others. McEnroe, the only men's seed to play and win. B-Dodgers now trail 6-4 in the 9th, and they're still playing.
All right, stay with us. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Static can make you lose your appetite.
It'll stop you.
Static can make you stick out in a crowd.
It'll stop you.
And static can be an embarrassing handicap.
It'll stop you.
The more you move, the more static can build up. But you can stop static cling by using Bounce. Bounce leaves clothes virtually static-free.
It won't stop you.
Bounce stops static before static stops you.
A day in the sun, a friend by your side, feeling the magic, taking a ride. Life's as good as it gets. What you gonna do now? I'm going to Disneyland. I'm going to Disneyland. Give it your best. What you gonna do next? I'm going to Disneyland. I'm going to Disneyland. I'm going to Disneyland.
Presenting the biggest thing to hit fruit and nut cereal since raisins.
Eggplant? Raisin nuts!
Those big, tasty guys at Raisin Nut Brand. Enormous, juicy raisins dipped in nuts, then mixed with crunchy almonds and crispy bran flakes for one hugely delicious taste.
Hands up!
Raisin Nut Brand with
Raisin nuts!
for big-time raisin taste.
We think you'll like the new 1992 Toyota Paseo so much, we don't have to use cheap advertising tricks to plan your emotions. So you won't see any young models in bikinis, no radical cornering maneuvers, no smoking tires, not even a low price as a come-on. So there's no pressure. Think it over. Thank you. The all-new Paseo, a very practical car from Toyota.
Black author Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu brought a message of black pride and drug freedom to Bakersfield tonight. Speaking to a full house at McKinley Elementary School, Kunjufu said parents of today spend too little time with their children. He said that parents should learn to communicate better with their kids and feed them more nutritious foods. Without a sense of who you are, Kunjufu told the crowd, kids will grow up depending on drugs. He said the best way to close the door on the entry of drugs into the country is to open the minds of the children to their roots. Kunjufu was brought to Bakersfield as part of the I Dream of a Drug-Free Me program. So good deal. What's up for breakfast in the morning?
What's up for breakfast? Tomorrow morning, another great morning as we take a look around the valley. We're going to see plenty of good morning sunshine. Enjoy it while you can. Eventually, we're going to need the air conditioners around these parts at 7 o'clock in the morning, but fortunately, we're hanging in there tough with these cool, unseasonable temperatures that we have right now.
All right, before we go tonight, we want to take you back out to Mesa Marin for a touch of country with the mother-daughter duel of the Judds. Good night.
But it ain't gonna do the trick. Give a little love, a little squeeze, and a little kiss. Give a little hug, I want some more of this. Take a little time, yeah, make a little fuss. That's what a woman wants. Give a little love. Get this, you can be some big hunk, handsome, dark and tall. Talk to me in foreign tongues, wear a southern drawl. Be a man from both sides and wear a pointed hat. I don't care how you look, 'cause that ain't where it's at. A little love, a little squeeze, and a little kiss, a little hug. Give you a little time, yeah, make a little fun. That's what a woman wants. Give a little love. Now you know what we're talking about, girl.
If you could live inside an alcoholic, you'd understand the depth of his dependence.
Hey, bartender, one more drink.
The isolation.
I don't need your help.
The lack of control.
I can quit anytime.
And you would know that inside...
Don't worry, I'll cut down.
He is desperately crying for help. Take steps now to help someone with an alcohol or drug problem. Call Charter Hospital. Outpatient services are available. If you don't get help at Charter, please get help somewhere.
What's got you so steamed up?
I don't know. Maybe global warming. Just a little breeze would be so nice.
You've got it. Wind power is one of the natural energy sources PG&E is developing. Solar power, too.
Yeah, I've got all the sun I need.
Exactly. That's why we're one of the world's leaders in solar power research. Try these solar panels on for size.
Ooh, man. Got any tanning lotion?
Well, you really should stop using so much oil.
Yeah, you're right.
I guess I'm what you call a do-it-yourselfer. I'm refinishing this cabinet. I wallpapered this room. But a smart do-it-yourselfer knows when to call in an expert. How's it going?
Just about done.
Like a clogged sewer, sink or drain. I don't have time to mess with that, so I call an expert. Roto-Rooter. Do it yourself? Sure, when it makes sense. But that calls for a pro. Roto-Rooter. Now that makes sense.
And away go troubles down the drain.
Have a Good Morning with Kirk Kazanjian on News 29.
It's an American obsession, losing weight.
Thin is in. Thin is beautiful.
Especially at this time of year.
I always feel better in the summer when I lose about 7 to 10 pounds so that I can look a little bit better in a bathing suit.
We are spending over $30 billion a year trying to look good. Are we really getting our money's worth? What is the right diet?
This is ABC News Nightline. Substituting for Ted Koppel and reporting from New York, Barbara Walters.
Well, you just can't escape it. It's on billboards and magazines and on television. Thin is in. And dieting has been turned into an industry, a highly competitive, multi-billion-dollar industry. Hollywood stars tell you where to exercise, and baseball greats tell you what diet shake to drink. Now we're even getting tips from politicians. Everyone is susceptible, I know. I face some of the same problems as the rest of you. 2/3 of all Americans are watching their weight. But with so much out there to choose from, how do we make sense of it all? Do we drink it, buy it ready-made, or just swallow a pill? And if you finally do lose that weight, what are the chances that you'll keep it off? The statistics are not on your side. Here's Judy Muller.
It's that time of year again. Time for the dreaded swimsuit search.
And what size are we today? We look about an 8.
Whatever size we are today, it never seems to be the right size. At least, that's the message we keep getting.
The all-you-can-eat salad bar at Carl's Jr. Who's afraid of a little old swimsuit?
Plenty of people, actually.
You know, cover-ups and sarongs are very in this year. And they help cover the things that we want to, camouflage.
At the Everything But Water store in Los Angeles, the employees try to allay those fears by wearing swimsuits on the job.
He was expelled from the Communist Politburo because of his outspoken attacks on Gorbachev. Now they have a kind of uneasy peace. But Yeltsin insists that the Soviet Union, and Russia is the largest part of it, can be a democracy, that the idea of communism is dead, and he says he needs our help. By the way, he's having dinner tonight, I think, with Henry Kissinger. Wouldn't you like to eavesdrop on that kind of thing?
It'd be great to hear it. Thank you, Barbara. We'll be right back.
Dear Thompsons.
Honey, I ran out of
Midway through waterproofing our new deck, I ran out of Thompson's water seal and finished with another brand. 2 days later, it rained. It was amazing.
Wow.
You could actually see the Thompson side working. The other side looked like I hadn't used a thing.
Thompson's Water Seal has 50% more active ingredients than most brands for more waterproofing power.
You can see the difference. For my money, nothing tops Thompson's, and I proved it. Sincerely, Marcia Jackalone, Bassett, Wisconsin.
A report on women's health. January 1991, Gyne-Lotrimin freed women of needing a prescription to cure recurrent vaginal yeast infections.
In the time I took to get a prescription, with Gyne-Lotrimin, my cure's begun. Gynecologists have prescribed Gyne-Lotrimin to cure millions of women.
It's available full prescription strength for early treatment, early cure, and that's healthier.
Gyne-Lotrimin is important news for women's health. Gyne-Lotrimin. It brings you early treatment, early cure.
Next up on News 29, murder is the case that police detectives are working on tonight. We'll have an update on an early morning homicide. And an Indiana new dance club has gotten a decision from the Supreme Court, and it looks like a cover-up of some kind may be in order here at home. Plus, why are these people camping out for tickets on sale tomorrow? Our George Franco will let us know who the big star creating the frenzy is. I'm Rick Fletcher. Join Jeff Kelly, Greg Kerr, and me next for News 29 coming your way at 11 o'clock.
Black filmmakers, black cinema crosses the line. Ossie Davis and Spike Lee join us tonight. Hugh?
Thank you, Ted. That's 2020 for now. We thank you for watching.
Remember, we're in touch, so you be in touch. I'm Barbara Walters.
And I'm Hugh Dow.
And for everyone here, we thank you. Good night. Have a good weekend.
transcript of 2020, send $5 to 2020 Transcripts, 267 Broadway, New York, New York, 10007, or call 227-READ. For availability of a video cassette version of a 2020 segment, please call the same number.
2020 is a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
America's watching ABC.
Right now, your Hyundai dealer has special savings on 91 Scoops. $1,000 factory cash back means you can own this sporty, fun-to-drive new coupe with power steering, power-assisted brakes, and stereo cassette for as little as $84.70. The 91 Scoop, with its European-tuned suspension, it's remarkably easy to handle. The price even more so. And it's at your Hyundai dealer now.
The place to go is Jim Burke Hyundai in the Bakersfield Auto Mall.
Good times roll with the clean, fresh taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up, never lets you down.
Channel 29, KBAK TV, Bakersfield.
Now, the Southern Valley's news leader. This is News 29 at 11 with Rick Fletcher, Greg Kerr on sports, and Jeff Kelly with your wake-up forecast. Now, News 29 at 11.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on News 29 tonight. A murder investigation in Bakersfield with another victim who is not talking. And new dancing is the controversy of the day as the Supreme Court lays the groundwork for some possible local changes. But first, our top story tonight. Big lines at the Civic Auditorium with people camped out to get their prime tickets for a Command performance. And by the looks at it, you might swear it was a big name like somebody like George Strait, the Judge, somebody like that coming to town. But our George Franco is out there to tell us just what all the commotion is all about. George.
That's right, Rick. I am here in this crowd of people, and the commotion really... And you can hear the commotion because to these folks here, it is a big name coming to town. These are all parents and these are all children, as you can obviously see, at a Command performance put on by Helene's Dance Academy and Nick's Dance Center, two Bakersfield dance studios. The dance studios have been, the students been practicing hard all day long. It's a once-a-year Bakersfield production attracting hundreds of ticket buyers way ahead of time.
And this is the one time a year that the parents and the grandparents and the family members actually get to see their children perform on stage. And we have probably close to 600 students.
The parents love to see their daughters perform, and our kids are hams. They love to show off and look at me, and I want to be in the front row. And I think the parents enjoy seeing their kids liking something and being able to be a part of a group.
And when you say be a part of a group, that's definitely what's going on here tonight. Let me talk to a couple of parents. You've been here since how long now?
Oh, I've been here about 5 years now.
Not Bakersfield, tonight in the line.
Bakersfield, I've been here since about 6 o'clock tonight.
There's been people in line from what?
Since 7:30 this morning.
What's it all about? Why wait here for this hour?
Our children have to know how important they are to us. You know, we're here online. This kind of thing builds our self-esteem. This is what's important to them.
It is important, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
But it isn't just self-esteem. You have to be here in time to get the right tickets in the right spots, right?
Yes, we're all in line just to get good seats. That's about it.
How many people would you say are here? What are we going to see tomorrow morning?
Oh, there's about 200 people here, and they're expecting a couple of thousand.
You heard it right here, a couple of thousand, and by tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock when these tickets go on sale, this line, which stretches down to 50 feet from here, should be going another 100 or so feet. And of course, we'll probably bring you an update on the weekend edition of News 29. Rick, real crowded, kind of a fun scene here tonight.
All right, thank you, George. And I believe the show is Wednesday. Is that right? Can you hear me?
If you could repeat it.
The show is Wednesday night, right?
That's right. The show is Wednesday night. It's a production of Pinocchio, and tickets are $11 for adults, $6 for children.
Better get them out, or get them now, or get in line. One of the two. All right, moving on with other news tonight. Police still do not have a suspect in this morning's shooting death of a Bakersfield man. 31-year-old Eric Barnes was shot to death in the 300 block of Lakeview about 1:30 this morning. Police say he and his brother were shot at close range, perhaps by someone they were talking to. The dead man's brother, Mark Barnes, is in Kern Medical Center in stable condition, but police say he's either unable or unwilling to give them any information to help them find the killer. If you thought the earth was moving beneath your feet this morning, that's because it was. An earthquake measuring 2.9 struck around 10:41 this morning. Seismologists put the epicenter around 10 miles south of Bakersfield. Besides some worried looks and rapid heartbeats, there were no reports of injuries or damage. The results of a recent survey showing some none too encouraging news regarding Kern County children. Children Now, an advocacy group, has just published the results of its annual survey. And Kern County finds itself near the bottom in many key areas. Of California's 58 counties, California Now places Kern dead last in school dropout rates and juveniles in jail. Kern also ranks near the bottom in infant mortality rates and violent crimes involving children. If there's some more encouraging news, California Now ranks Kern in the middle of the pack for child support and the numbers of very poor children, as you see there. California Now adds that it ranks that the rankings are based on a 4-year average. Well, at least 2 Bakersfield City Council members would like to see nude dancing abolished here in the city. The sentiments are directed at the Deja Vu, the only nude club in Bakersfield. Connie Bruni and Pat Smith's stand follows the Supreme Court's ruling allowing states to ban nude dancing. The ruling stemmed from an Indiana case where the nude dancers were forced to cover up with G-strings and pasties. The Supreme Court ruled that such states can impose such restrictions. And now others want to expand on that ruling right here in town.
If we were to be given that opportunity, I am leaning in the position of banning it, yes. Primarily because I think that there are other crimes that have a spillover effect from watching these other activities.
Deja Vu's manager refused to talk to News 29 today, but the club's lawyer in Los Angeles says in his legal opinion the city cannot ban nude dancing. It is the state's jurisdiction. You'll recall that Deja Vu was forced to install a plexiglass partition to separate its dancers from the audience recently. Well, a banquet tonight at the Bakersfield Christian Life Center brought out a large group of senior citizens. The dinner is put on by the GEMS group at the center, and tonight's featured speaker was none other than News 29's very own Don Clark. The event was held to raise money for the group of some 50 senior citizens who do many kinds of activities for the older set in Bakersfield, ranging from dinners to field trips. Switching gears just a little bit, this weekend in Colorado, it's the annual Cowboy Poetry Gathering, and it will get underway there. Cowboys have always entertained themselves with songs and poetry. But as Dan Dennison reports tonight, it's just in the past few years that many of these wranglers began reciting in public.
Well, listen and you'll know it. This old reporter ain't no cowboy poet. Up in the saddle trotting over the hill, there's some real poets named Rudy and Bill.
I remember a tough little cowboy come riding through here one day. Looked like a real good hand to me. He was riding a little bay.
Glimmer in the twilight and then lost in the night. But out in God's celestial space, there is no end to day. We'll enjoy eternal sunshine if we'll accept His way.
When he was but a young buckaroo, Bill embarked on this path of a poet. Singing and strumming, he'll gladly show it.
We're extremely pleased to find that other people enjoy this just as much as cowboys.
Rudy on his horse followed much the same course. He's one of 3 making poetry key.
Well, I only know of 3 of us that are making a full-time living at it.
My, oh my, you can certainly tell why. Rudy has a way with words that can make grown men laugh or cry.
It took 35 long years, you see, to finally get her growed. Although it's vain, I sort of like this old mustache of old. Oh, there's hundreds of them like him out there on the western range who cultivate their facial hair and ain't about to change. Oh, the dang things are a nuisance when the winter time rolls in. You got 2 great big chunks of ice hanging way down past your chin.
Well, still ahead on News 29, you will meet a drug-sniffing pig who's hogging the show at a Northwestern police department. And the Iceman could soon have a rap sheet. Stay with us.
In June, get this Poland Weed Eater electric trimmer for just $17.99 while supplies last at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Introducing the new 1992 Paseo from Toyota. It's a practical, sensible car.
Women dig it.
For people who know their limitations.
Let's party.
And can appreciate performance.
16 valves, 100 horsepower.
In moderation. So don't expect a lot of excitement.
It's a blast.
Just good, basic transportation.
Women dig it.
At a price we're too modest to mention.
Starting under 10 grand.
We think you'll probably like it.
You'll love it.
The all-new Paseo, a very practical car from Toyota.
When you've been representing accident victims for as long as we have, you develop a reputation. The word spreads and the public gets to know you and trust you. Insurance companies take you seriously. It takes hard work to gain a good reputation. If you've been injured, we're a law firm that will work hard for you.
Shane Younger help people who've been injured in an accident. Call 323-4000. They're in your corner.
It took cowboys, Indians, Spanish conquistadors, and Carl's Jr. to come up with the spicy new charbroiled Santa Fe chicken sandwich.
The all-you-can-eat salad bar at Carl's Jr. Who's afraid of a little old swimsuit?
This is the family room. Every house needs one. Has plenty of comfortable places to hang out, listen to music, take a nap. It's the Ford Aerostar. It's built for trips to the Grand Canyon or to the supermarket. This part's easy. And it runs and runs because it's a Ford. If you need more room for your family, don't build onto your house. Add an Aerostar.
From the entertainment world tonight, rap idol Vanilla Ice is in trouble on weapons charges. Ice and one of his bodyguards are being charged after an encounter with a transient and the singer's entourage at a San Fernando Valley market. Transient tried to sell them a piece of jewelry and was run off after a show of weapons. The Iceman, whose real name is Robert Van Winkle, will be in court Monday on charges of possessing a loaded weapon, having a concealed weapon in public, and allowing another person to have a weapon in his vehicle. 3 tough raps. Well, in the world of crime fighting, you have to try everything possible to outwit the criminals. As we reported this week, Bakersfield Neighborhood Watch programs are helping, as well as a young girl with a video camera who taped some burglary suspects. But in the state of Washington, it's a cop by the name of Rookie who's bringing home the bacon.
This pig wears a badge. Rookie's the name, and sniffing out dope is his game. He's a narc hog, a police pig. The folks at the Pierce County Sheriff's Office thought if you can train a dog to sniff out drugs, why couldn't you train a pig? They did. And with an oink and a snort, Rookie will find the stuff. To prove it, watch this. One box is filled with marijuana. The others are empty. Now here it comes. When Rookie sniffs the pot, he'll stop. Won't go on to the next one. Amazing. But come on, he is a pig. So how is he treated by the other officers?
No different than the rest of the employees around here, including the dogs.
Okay, we've established Rookie's popularity among his co-workers. We all know his great talent as a police pig. But what does he do for fun?
I think when he barks like the dogs, which he does do when he plays with the dogs, he barks, mimics just like they do.
Well, I tried to get Rookie to bark, no luck. So I settled for this instead, a pig kiss. It's Rookie's gentle side, because after all, he is one tough cop. This is Eric Slocum reporting.
We could soon be seeing bacon units running around. All right, next up, good day for weather tomorrow.
Yes, our first weekend of the summer. We'll look into the weather crystal ball when we come right back.
When is the time to call Clark Pest Control? Now is the time to call Clark Pest Control. Since 1940, the Clark family has been providing Valley homes with safe and effective pest control protection. With Clark's year-round Pest Away service, you get gentle, EPA-approved methods that help keep your home pest-free. And Clark Pest Control fully warranties their work. To avoid household pests, call Clark Pest Control, the better way since 1940.
Don't miss Jeff Kelly's wake-up forecast so you can plan for tomorrow. That and the rest of the weather's still to come on News 29.
Pretty woman, walking down the street. Pretty woman, the kind I'd like to meet.
So little time, so many choices. But you know the facts. Your pick? The new Mercury Tracer LTS, one of Car and Driver's 10 best. And wouldn't you know it?
Mercy.
Yes, you would. Mercury Tracer, the smart choice at your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
Oh, pretty woman.
What kind of buds bloom in the Olive Garden? Taste buds. And when you see our new summer menu of tender grilled dishes, light pastas, garden-fresh salads, and luscious desserts, you'll see why we say, now, all the best of summer is yours at the Olive Garden Italian Restaurant.
Tonight's weather brought to you by Stockdale Ceramic Tile.
And if you were paying attention earlier today, our good friend Jeff Kelly was all wet.
Yeah, I went into the swimming pool. First day of summer, we had to get into the pool, because from now on we're going to be warming up. But today we only reached 91 degrees was the hot spot in the valley for Taft. Everybody else was in the 80s.
Yeah,
we're going to go to New York City now here on the first night of summer. They had a laser light show in New York. There you see the Big Apple and the music in the background, and there's your laser light show. Beautiful at night.
Is that off the sky there?
Yeah, it's wonderful. So now let's take a look at our almanac. New York City, what they do for fun in the big town. And I hear Paul Simon's going to play there very soon, another free concert. Hey, 88 degrees was our high for today, 55 the low. And what do we have right now? 73 degrees. 55 for that low now was another record. We tied another record anyway. 73 out at the airport. Winds are from the west at 11. 35 miles our visibility and 33% the humidity out there. So what do we have on our satellite? Let's take a look at this now. It's very interesting. This upper level low is just parked. It's anchored up in the Pacific Northwest. Give me some rain showers right now into Seattle, Washington, and it's cooling down our temperatures quite a bit. As a matter of fact, we're going way below normal. We're going to stay that way through early next week. Doesn't look like any rain. Doesn't look like we have any clouds. No wind problems. No smog problems. Just going to be a great weekend. And if you're along the coast, if you're heading over the coast tomorrow morning, it should be nice and early burn off too. So all in all, things are looking good for us. Now, if we take a look here at Colorado and Wyoming and up into the Pacific Northwest, they had heavy, heavy rain. But look at this. This is baseball-sized hail in Denver, Colorado today. The first day of summer brought some thunder showers, 3 to 4 inches of hail. Yes, slush around. Tennis, anyone out there? My goodness. Many cars were damaged by the storm. As you can see, windshields were shattered. That's Denver, and those people are used to that kind of thing. And tomorrow it looks like they're going to have some more again around this low, just eastern Rockies, circulating around there in the late afternoon hours. We're going to see thunder showers again from Washington all the way down to Florida. And the only places that are going to stay dry is the northeast, and for us down in the southwest, temperatures will be warming up into the hundreds again for Phoenix, Arizona, and out in the desert southwest. And we're looking for temperatures mainly for us in the 80s. Down LA way, it'll be hazy sunshine, and in the 70s along the coast, even in the 60s. So a great first weekend of summer. 50 degrees for Lake Isabella tonight, 59 for Taft tomorrow. Here's your temperatures, and it's not bad at all. 93 for Taft, 80 degrees for Fraser Park. Wherever you go, I think you can handle these. 92 in Wasco and 78 in Tehachapi. Our air quality cooperates all weekend long. Moderate both Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, too. Clear skies and a little bit on the cool side, so you can get a good night's sleep here. And as we take a look now around the area, again, LA, hazy sunshine 74, Central Coast only in the 60s, 88 for Fresno. And we're keeping cool throughout the whole weekend. Nights will remain cool and no problems at all for this first weekend of summer.
All right, next up we turn to sports.
Keep in mind the hail was in Denver.
Yeah.
They're going to have an expansion team in baseball. That we'll have golf in a moment. Rio Bravo, the final round of the Southern California Open.
Step into the showroom of Stockdale Tile and discover how beautiful your home can look. If you're remodeling a kitchen or bathroom or building a custom home, Stockdale Tile has everything you'll need to complete the job. Once you select your ceramic tile, pick it up from our fully stocked warehouse. For the largest selection of ceramic tile and the best service in Bakersfield, see owners Bill Ray Jr. and Tony Marion at Stockdale Tile, 6301 District Boulevard.
Just wait till your mother gets home.
The Lexus ES250. With so many luxury features, it's fun even driving it around the block 50 or 60 times. Come into Penske Lexus. Drive it around the block.
A day in the sun, a friend by your side, feeling the magic, taking a ride. Life's as good as it gets. What you gonna do now?
If you need an affordable new car with reliability and super fuel economy, you need to check out the new Geo Metro here at Three Ways Chevrolet. We have 2 doors, we have 4 doors, and Metro convertibles. Now, this new XFI Metro has the highest fuel mileage rating of any car sold in America, 58 miles per gallon. And with available rebates, you can buy it for a net cost of just $61.90. So come drive it at your local Kern County Chevy dealer, Three Ways Chevrolet.
Tonight's sports brought to you by Pacific Bell Smart Yellow Pages. For a free copy, stop by any Bakersfield Food for Less.
Seems like always a lot going on Fridays in sports.
Indeed.
Thanks
Not
for
as
being
much as
with
high
us.
school. Yeah. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, the Dodgers and Pirates. This is interesting stuff because everyone's talking about this is going to be your playoff picture. They are in Game 2 of their much-publicized 4-game series at Dodger Stadium. The Pirates in command in the East. The Dodgers doing the same darn thing in the West. And tonight, Dodgers found out how the other half lives because, Tommy, does he look like he's managing a first-place team? Well, he looks like a team that's down 3-1. Jay Bell with the triple over Stan Javier right here. Gary Rita scores, and that made the score 3-1. Later, it would be Mike Hartley serving up the solo homer to Barry Bonds. Bonds' 9th homer of the year. He's coming on. Pittsburgh goes on to win behind Bob Walk by a final of 5-1. The numbers, National League, there it is. Pittsburgh over the Dodgers. Chris Sabo, 2 homers. Cincinnati over Montreal. Elsewhere, you have Philadelphia shutting out Houston. Bruce Ruffin, a late starter, and he gets the win. Atlanta over New York, 4-2. San Diego, St. Louis, the Cardinals win their 4th in a row, and it was the Giants over the Cubs. The Cubs have now lost, count them, 7 in a row. The Angels in Detroit and the Tigers, they come as advertised. They strike out a lot. They hit a lot of home runs, and tonight they had 4 homers, 2 by Mickey Tettleton, and this one, you're not going to believe. Out of the yard, and we mean, yeah, the photographer had the right idea at first. It went over the roof. It's out of here. The 17th guy to hit one completely out of Tiger Stadium, the 24th time the ball has ever gone out of the park, and the Tigers just clobbered the Angels by a final of 9-2. Mickey Tettleton with 6 RBIs. Minnesota, they are still red hot. They knock off the Yankees 5-4. It was Boston over slumping Oakland 3-2. Seattle over Milwaukee 5-1. Got Toronto over Cleveland. It was Chicago in extra innings over Texas, and Kansas City rained out at home against Baltimore. The B-Dodgers dropped their first game of the second half as Stockton scores in the 9th inning to go on to win by a final of 3-2. Golf, the final round of the Southern California Open went to sudden death playoff between Chris Starkjohn and Ted Lehman. Now, Lehman was in the clubhouse, a round of 67. He was 8 under for the tournament. And that's where Chris Starkjohn had to pick things up on the 18th hole. He needed this birdie right here to tie for the lead and send it to a playoff. He did. And to the playoff we go, and on the 3rd hole, we've got trouble. The green is flooded. We got to take time out. The officials say, let's wait a while. They did. Starkjohn with this birdie putt to win the whole shooting match. He drops it, and he talked about his playoff strategy.
Just hit the greens, try to hit the greens, give myself a good putt at it, and if it fell, it fell. I controlled my emotions real well, and I posted a good score, and I got to give credit to Chris.
And the numbers look like this. Starkjohn winning the playoff over Lehman. Tracy Bowles, Jeff Hart, 3 strokes back, followed by Curtis Worley and Brian Gorman. As far as the locals, Rich Gilkey was -2. Alan Sorensen, the North Curtis assistant, was +1. Bruce Burrows +3, and Jerry Steenerson at 4 over par. To softball, the 10th annual Desperado Invitational began tonight at Dave Fry Field. 2018 field, half of which are nationally ranked. Some great softball. 18 and under group, the Bakersfield Babes hosting the California Raiders. They were 2nd nationally. The California Raiders we're speaking of, and the first batter of the game. The base hit into right field, then it gets past the right fielder, and Kelly Howard is going to try and score. The play at the plate, you make the call, turns out to be a good one. She didn't touch home. Out at the plate. But in the top of the 4th, scoreless tie, Karen McDonald drives one to left center. That's going to bring home a pair, as the California Raiders would go on to win it by a final of 2-0. The other game in, the Gordon Panthers, a winner over Halcombe Welding by a count of 7-0. That runs through Sunday. Some great stuff. Some great softball going on. It's one of the better tournaments around.
All right, and don't go to sleep. Don't even touch that dial. The breakfast forecast next. Stay with us.
Can you think of anything so far out that it's not here in the Pacific Bell Smart Yellow Pages?
What about some spiritual guy looking for enlightenment or something, and all of a sudden he gets confused? Spiritual consultants, I guess.
Yep. Spiritual consultants?
I guess you can find a guru after all.
And find anything there that catches your eye?
Oh, let's see. How about Deja Vu Hotline? There we go.
House blessings.
That's good.
How do you suppose they answer the phone at Deja Vu Hotline? You know?
I've met you before.
It's good talking to you again.
Yeah.
Anyway, if it's not in here, well, you've heard this all before.
Now, leasing a Cadillac is an even safer investment. Only $469 a month and no down payment on a new Cadillac DeVille with the security of a steel safety cage, driver's side airbag, anti-lock brakes, V8 power, and more, all standard. And at only $469 a month, a new Cadillac provides for your financial security as well, if you act by June 30th.
See your Central California Cadillac dealer and drive in Cadillac style.
Nope. It's going to be different. Everything's going to change. We'll have big, wide streets, wide enough for 4 buggies at once. And there'll be schools right next to the houses. People will come here to settle, to raise their families.
And you're going to do all this by yourself, Baker?
No, but I'm going to get it started.
It began with a vision, and we're working hard to make that vision a reality in the villages of Stockdale and wherever we grow. We're Castle and Cook, developing dreams.
When is the time to call Clark Pest Control? Now is the time to call Clark Pest Control. Since 1940, the Clark family has been providing Valley homes with safe and effective pest control protection. With Clark's year-round Pest Away service, you get gentle, EPA-approved methods that help keep your home pest-free. And Clark Pest Control fully warranties their work. To avoid household pests, call Clark Pest Control, the better way since 1940.
Jeff is back with a quick menu for breakfast.
Menu, yes. We have
What is for
omelets,
breakfast?
Cheerios, and we have 63 degrees. Doesn't get any better. Yes, it doesn't get any better. Indian Hills Powwow in Tehachapi tomorrow. It starts at 9 a.m. Should be good weather for everything. Plus, Bakersfield Municipal Band will be playing again on Sunday at Beale Park, and also the car show at the fairgrounds. So some things to do this weekend.
And what will you be having for breakfast?
I probably will go to Jack in the Box.
Okay.
Nice little plug there.
George Franco and Dan Tudor will be along this weekend. Stay with them for all the news and weather and sports. We will be back again on Monday. Good night, everyone.
What do you get when you come to Midas for brakes? Great value for the price and a job done right. When it comes to brakes, nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
Dodge Dakota. Power. Excitement. Cool comfort. Hot sounds. No charge. Stretch out. Cash back. Package savings. $3,700. Call us.
Would you trust the largest investment you may ever make to anyone less than a proven professional? Surprisingly, people do it every day. Realty Executives 100% concept attracts dedicated top producers from other offices. With Realty Executives, you work with experienced realtors who aren't just practicing on your home. If you're a career-minded agent serious about making a move up to a company celebrating 25 years of success, call Realty Executives. Whether your needs involve buying, selling, or investing, contact the professionals. Realty Executives, 326-1500.
Looks like a BMW 735i. Must be at least $500 a month. More room than the Acura Legend. I'd say $450.
Feels like you're in one of those expensive sports cars.
Fuel-injected overhead cam V6? We're talking major money.
A 160 horsepower Nissan Maxima. You can lease one for $249 a month at your nearest Nissan dealer now.
Channel 29. KDAK TV, Bakersfield.
I need some New Jack cops to take down a New Jack gangster. All we got is the streets. That's it.
For decades, if you were black and wanted to make films, you were limited to stereotypes. But not anymore. Take a look at today's movies.
Of a millionaire or a movie star.
Ossie Davis, Spike Lee, and film critic Andrew Sarris join us tonight to discuss Hollywood's latest discovery, black filmmaker.
I got nothing but love for you, baby.
This is ABC News Nightline. Reporting from Washington, Ted Koppel.
I remember, although I can't tell you precisely how many years ago it was, hearing on the radio that the NAACP had lodged a complaint with the producers of the Amos and Andy program. The specifics are somewhat foggy in my memory, but the complaint had something to do with the NAACP's perception that blacks were being presented in a demeaning fashion. At the time, I didn't get it. Amos and Andy seemed like a harmless enough program. It certainly didn't fall into the same category as the outrageous violations of human and civil rights that had finally, after so many years, captured the attention of the news media and the American public at large. Looking back, of course, the indignity is clear. It may have seemed like gentle, good-natured caricature to most white fans of the program, but what else was there? Where were the images of strong, hard-working, intelligent blacks on radio and television to counterbalance the good-natured, somewhat slow-witted, shiftless characters who moved in and out of Amos and Andy's world? Truth be told, we haven't moved all that far. Although in the world of film, there's been something of a mini revolution. Here's Nightline correspondent Jeff Greenfield.
This was the face of black films half a century ago. From musicals to westerns, black films for exclusively black audiences.
My name is John Shaft.
Someone who appreciates immediate responsiveness. Someone who enjoys tremendous power. The kind of driver who knows what it's like to handle a true sports car. The Nissan 240 SX. Driving one is like a whole new experience. Save now with factory-to-dealer incentives on the 240 SX.
Channel 29, KDAK TV, Bakersfield.
The children of Iraq, suffering from malnutrition and lacking medicine necessary to keep them alive. A new report says Almost 200,000 of them could die this year in the aftermath of the war. President Bush says trade sanctions should remain in place until Saddam is gone. But should the sanctions be lifted to save the children?
This is ABC News Nightline. Reporting from Washington, Ted Koppel.
It was never spelled out by the UN Security Council, nor for that matter was it ever a stated objective of the U.S. government. But President Bush certainly hinted often enough that he would like to see Saddam Hussein out of power. That might have been achieved fairly easily had the U.S. military pressed on last February. But for whatever reasons, President Bush did not order the military to move beyond the goals set by the UN. In recent weeks, however, several senior members of the Bush administration, including the president, have made it clear that the United States will oppose the lifting of sanctions against Iraq as long as Saddam Hussein remains in power. Whatever pressure that may be putting on the Iraqi president, it is certainly a hardship on the Iraqi people. Indeed, a team of U.S. doctors recently returned from a tour of Iraq and predicted that the impact of the sanctions is devastating, especially on the children. Similar projections have been made by UNICEF and by the International Red Cross. Here's more from Dennis Trout.
These undernourished children are victims of a war which had just started when they were born. They've become the subject of growing alarm for doctors both in Iraq and in the West. Relief workers talk about the real possibility of tens of thousands of deaths.
8% of children under 1 year have already severe malnutrition. And everywhere I went, I saw several cases of severe malnutrition all at once in one pediatric ward.
About 94,000 children in southern Iraq could die if no medication is made available to them, just because of diarrhea or waterborne diseases.
The Red Cross is shipping and distributing food, drugs, and sanitation equipment to war victims throughout Iraq, but the real emphasis is children.
They are very vulnerable to diseases. Something which would be a common diarrhea for an adult can be a killer for children because they have limited resistance.
The sanctions against Iraq heighten the dangers confronting its children in several ways. Milk, medicine, and chemicals needed to purify water are in short supply because the sanctions bar Iraq from selling its oil to purchase new stocks. That's true also of spare parts needed to fix generators damaged during the war. Without adequate power, it is impossible to treat sewage or to refrigerate food. The problem of food shortages is most acute among Iraq's poor. They were dependent on inexpensive food subsidized by petroleum sales over the past decade. Now, government milk rations have been cut by 2/3. When there is food, they often cannot afford it. With the sanctions still in place, they see no relief in sight. Much suffering is caused by a lack of medication as well. This young man spent 5 days going from one pharmacy to another seeking heart medicine for his mother. What pharmacists stock their shelves with are the drugs needed least.
Well, I am lacking mostly the medicines that should be given for emergencies, especially medicines that are given through the veins. Among them, the antibiotics. And I have...
Dr. Kazim Ismail is managing director of Baghdad's pediatric hospital. He worries most about infants.
When they reach the hospital, they are in desperate health, they are probably gasping. Even some infants, they reach the hospital dead.
Infant mortality rates, which were 3% before the war, now are above 13%. Doctors expect them to get worse.
We have 2 deaths,
An examination of death certificates at the Children's Hospital shows that the most frequent cause of death is marasmus, or a wasting away of tissue in an advanced state of malnutrition. Relief workers say problems are worsening because critical supplies in this country of 18 million are being exhausted much faster than they can ever be replaced.
Now, are we going to receive all the resources in cash and goods to really substitute ourselves to what the government of Iraq was doing with billions of dollars of oil revenues in the past? This is unclear, but I'm very skeptical. But this is a silent tragedy. All parameters indicate that you will reach a crisis of very grave proportion very soon.
Washington and the other allies have been reluctant to bend their sanctions policy.
$20 maggots per 100 grams of canned mushrooms, for instance. Yeah, ain't that deep? I hate to read sometimes, you know. You'd be better off just, you know, 'cause I knew something was wrong. The other day, I turned on the light and saw a can of mushrooms run under the sink, you know. I knew something was wrong then. Whose job is it to check this kind of stuff? You know, is there a guy who's like 17, 18 maggots, 19, 20, 21? No, that's too many damn maggots. Gee whiz, you can't have that many maggots in a can of mushrooms. We have laws. There's a new Madonna video out, kind of. Yeah, there's the article there from USA Today. You've probably heard about this. It's actually 3 45-minute bootleg tapes that are showing Madonna naked or topless. And she's, yeah. And she's kind of simulating this. It's hard to say this technically. She's simulating oral sex with an Evian bottle. Yes. Yeah. And she also has one of her male dancers in there who exposes himself to her. But the bottle thing, you thought the Civil War documentary was exciting. Wait till you see this show. The thing you wonder, though, when you hear about this is that a 1-liter Evian bottle or a 2-liter Evian? You know? Because, you know, we've seen so much from Madonna, it's hard to impress us, you know? Oh, man, she's gone from like a virgin to like a porno queen. What is that about? It could have been worse, brother. It could have been worse. It's an Evian bottle. Could have been Bartles and James, you know? Hey. It's just an Evian bottle. Oh, one quick note. I got a call in my dressing room, and I'm supposed to tell y'all this. You probably have heard by now that Sinead and I are engaged to be married. Sinead O'Connor. Yeah, that's a lovely picture there on the monitor. Yes. That's us. Old tabloid shot. Well, she called me and wanted me to tell you all she will not accept material wedding gifts. So don't send any. This is very serious to her, but she said this, send me cash. I don't mind, you know.
Excuse me, Arsenio.
Any toasters or...
Arsenio.
Huh?
Can you got a minute?
I'm working right now, man.
I mean, this is important. I can't hold it any longer. It's been bothering me for 4 days. I'm going crazy. I'm going to lose my mind.
What's wrong, man?
Well, I've been pursuing Sinead ever since she came to America.
Yo, man, yo. Hey, I don't want to get into nothing with you, man. You know, you move your feet, you lose your seat. I'm there now, brother.
You, baby brother. You, baby brother.
What?
You took her from me. Stole my Sinead.
So step to me, man. What's up? No.
Now, you know what I'm gonna do instead?
What?
I like to do a poem. I like to do it because I wrote one about this.
Is that all right?
Yeah, I did. Can I do a poem? I wrote one.
Yeah, that's a good way to vent frustrations and stuff.
It is, because I gotta get it off my chest. You don't mind.
Okay, first take your bass off your chest.
Okay.
And we'll play his theme music, a John B. Williams poetry moment, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry this had to happen.
It's okay. I'm sorry. The name of this poem is Arsenio, You Stole My Bald-Headed Lady. By John B. Williams. Arsenio, you stole my bald-headed lady. You know who I'm talking about, my little Sinead. You think you're so cool. You think you're so notable. But your baby used to share my chic disposable. It's true you're my boss, and I think you're comical. But what do you have that I don't have, other than a few follicles? You busted up my romance. You broke John B.'s heart. All for a woman who can't manage a part. We were a perfect couple. We never needed combs. We were so, so happy. So why you do it to me, Holmes? So here I stand, all blue and all bald. On account of my woman's been Arsenio hauled. Well, good luck, Flathead. Here's a tip for you. Feed that woman proper, and nothing compares to stew. So good luck and good wishes. I won't be a snot, because John B. don't want what John B. don't got.
You all right, man? Okay. Hey, fellas, thanks for sitting in with us. At this point, usually they give me some funk that I can talk to. If y'all could just throw something together. Michael, work them.
We got a great show for you. From the Party Machine, Tia Peoples is here. The comedy of Sinbad. I want to be able to hear when y'all give my boy his propers. Johnny Gill is here. Let's get busy.
What's the coolest new thing in sports? It's red. It's new tropical fruit flavored Gatorade. With a big, bold flavor that makes it the coolest new thing in sports.
Gatorade thirst quencher for that deep down body thirst.
Hey, Sleeping Beauty, wake up.
Is Prince Charming coming?
No, but the new boss may be. Better revive with Vivarin.
Vivarin?
It wakes me up and it's safe as coffee.
Great proposal, Stacy. Really alert.
Revive with Vivarin.
Our newspaper editor always orders the same thing.
Turkey on wheat, no mayo. Cutting down on fat.
Lester, stop the presses. I've got new Kraft-free non-fat mayonnaise dressing. That's right, not just cholesterol-free, but fat-free, too.
Fat-free? How's it taste?
Fresh and creamy.
Connie, I'm putting you on the front page.
Maybe this Craft-Free can make me famous. Don't forget, only creamy new Craft-Free is fat-free.
You do not want plaque in a new mouth, because a plaque mouth is a lonely mouth. Introducing new Close-Up Anti-Plaque Formula.
For a new mouth, a healthy mouth, a close-up mouth.
New Close-Up Anti-Plaque Formula is a toothpaste and plaque rinse in one for a cleaner, fresher, healthy mouth. Hate plaque. Fight plaque. Get new anti-plaque Close-Up.
For a new mouth, a close-up mouth.
Wesley Snipes has everything a man could want. A great job, a loving wife. He also has... She's white. White! Jungle Fever. From director Spike Lee. Rated R. Starts Friday, June 7th at a theater near you.
Ignorant. Oh, boy. Next week, if you can, stop by. The OJs will be here. Malcolm Jamal Warner will be here. Maria Shriver is here. Tom Chambers, Cotton Fitzsimmons, New Kids on the Block, Akeem Olajuwon, Gary Busey. Akeem Olajuwon is here. Gary Busey, Dizzy Gillespie, Elisa Fiorillo, Julio Iglesias, Michael J. Fox, and some other people, but I just can't remember them all right now. It's going to be a good week. This next man plays Walter on the television series A Different World. Yes. How about it for the unpredictable Sinbad? Give it up. See, now, if this is what I think it is, man, I need the support of my friends during this time in my life.
I understand. You had a date with Sinead O'Connor. Now, I'm gonna ask you something. If that's what it takes for you to take me somewhere, I asked you to take me to the Lakers game. You ain't got time for me. I said, I just want to go to the movie sometime. You ain't got time for me. If it's the hair, I can take it off, brother. I can take it. I didn't know you was into women with short hair. I didn't know. You know? John, we look alike, brother. Hey, I know how you feel now, Jack. I know how you feel, brother.
You look like Kareem and Sinead had a baby. That's what you look like. Look at him.
Whatever it takes, man, to make it in Hollywood, I'm willing to do that, man.
Are you going to boycott the Comedy Awards?
I'm boycotting the Comedy Awards. And I'm boycotting until they have brothers with afros being nominated. I'm going to boycott the Comedy Awards.
Okay, you talked about women who are bald.
Yeah.
You're married.
Yeah. You said my wife bald-headed?
No, man, no. Wait for the question, man. I love your wife. See, I mean,
what?
No, man. Let me ask the question. Let me ask the question before I confuse.
I think maybe we should go to another subject right now.
No, wait. I'm going to ask you, when you met your wife, if she had had a bald head,
she would not have got met, Jack.
But see,
I ain't saying nothing wrong. I mean, if a woman has no hair, that's cool, but you should wear a hat. With some hair that's stuck to the back of the hat. I'm sorry, if I see a slick-haired woman at a nightclub, I'm thinking, let's shoot some pool. That's what I'm at, man. You know, John, don't most of your women have hair? You date bald-haired women? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
Well, you know, you offended a lot of people, at least two.
No, I didn't. Bald-headed people ain't offended because they know they're bald-headed. If you're bald-headed, you know. If you're fat, you know. You can't offend fat and bald-headed people.
Okay.
That's right. See, you know when you're out of shape.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If you were losing your hair, because men have to deal with this.
I'm cutting it all off. If
really, no, like weave or
I'm gonna like John. I'm gonna be like Lou Gossett. I'm taking it all off. Like, you know, like if I had yours, I would cut it all off. This is a brother that's at the Apollo every weekend with orange hair, dogging me out, looking like a carrot. But it's cool.
I kind of like this look.
Actually, some women find bald men sexy.
I know, John. I see John walk out here, women chasing John up and down the street, man. then they find out you ain't got a wig, and they go like, well, he really is bald. And they change everything.
How did you get your head? That's a skull cap or something.
No, this is natural. What you do is, if you have tatters, you just let it kick on in, and it takes all your hair off.
Now, what is that word?
Tatters. Oh, y'all don't know about tatters, do y'all?
No.
They don't talk about it anymore. See, when growing up, see how the word tatterhead, you would wear a stocking cap because you had tatters. And that meant you was like losing patches of your hair. And in school, they would walk around with this ultraviolet light to see who had tatters. And then they wouldn't even know discretion. Get him to the nurse's office. So now everybody knew you had tatters.
Well, how many remember tatters?
Y'all remember tatters?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And other people are thinking, what?
They don't know what tatters is. Y'all have no cool diseases. Those were some cool diseases. To be called tatterhead was a sign of being accepted by your friends.
You're actually from Michigan.
That's right.
Yeah. You would have been a pro ball player if you had had a bald head.
Hey, man, I don't know, man. You know what? I don't know if I ever would have played pro ball or not, but I like to think that I could at least got drafted and got cut by somebody. At least, that's all I want to do was, I don't care if I never made 10. I just want to try out, man. Yeah. I just want to try out one time.
I know people from your area that said you could hoop, man.
I was bad,
Partners of Magic said that.
I was bad, brother. I was bad.
Well, how much did you average a game?
I don't know, man. I just know, I don't care about points. I like to block shots. I like to block shots and rebound.
So you was like Manute Bol.
I was block shots and rebound. I can speak English, though.
Manute speaks a little English.
Now, come on, y'all act like that's cold-blooded. Y'all know Manute don't speak that much English. Don't sit up here and act like you don't know. Oh, that's cold-blooded. Y'all talk about behind his back. As soon as Manute says something, you're like, I understand what he said.
On the next Party Machine with Nia Peoples. Stick around. I gotta have you for this party. It's the exclusive sounds of Damien Dame. And you just gotta have these #1 rappers, N.O.G. and the Bulldogs. Plus actress Ricky Lake, all on the next Party Machine.
Monday night at midnight, only on Fox 26.
First, my wife insists on bringing me to this art thing. Then she says I should wear something nice. Fine, but I need to be comfortable when I'm appreciating art. So I wore this shirt and pants. She went nuts. Said they had great composition. Well, honey, this art is clashing with my ensemble.
We're not leaving. Levi's Dockers at Mervyn's for the clothes you love to live in. They made a complete circle from the Andes Mountains to Spain and then back to America, where they got baked, mashed, sliced, diced, and finally crisp-cut. The new seasoned crisp-cut fries at Carl's Jr.
It took cowboys, Indians, Spanish conquistadors, and Carl's Jr. to come up with the spicy new charbroiled Santa Fe chicken sandwich.
Ah, the virtues of milk.
Oh, no.
Milk has carbohydrate for energy,
Excuse me?
yet it's surprisingly low in calories. It has magnesium
Benny, lend me a quarter.
for hand-eye coordination, riboflavin
Excuse me, come through.
for agility, and milk has lots of calcium for a winning smile.
Hi.
Milk,
Come by here often?
it does a body good.
Lovely to look at, delightful to know, and heaven to kiss.
If you love antiques, you'll discover what you want at the Antique Peddler Show, May 31st through June 2nd at the Fresno District Fairgrounds. Besides the tremendous array of beautiful collectibles, the famous Glass Doctor will be there to restore those heirlooms you thought lost forever. Come to look, browse, and invest in legacies you can enjoy today at the Antique Peddler Show, May 31st through June 2nd at the Fresno District Fairgrounds. Doors open at 11 a.m.
You are bad, man. Edgar Winter is bad. See, man, that come from my time. I was in college. Edgar Winter is bad, man, on that saxophone. Bad.
We came up about the same time, man. You remember the old Tower Power stuff? The
horns, man.
Young
That's
man.
right, man.
Oh,
No. How about Squib Cakes?
Oh, yes.
Squib Cakes, man. We used to play that before when we warmed up. My college team, that was the song we played, man. Squib Cakes.
Yeah, Oakland Stroke.
That's it, man.
All that stuff.
Yeah, y'all making money from 2020 on that one, Jack.
Yeah, you have an album out. I heard a cut about brain damage on the radio the other day. So you got music and comedy on that album?
Yeah, it's sold about 4 copies. So you won't see me at the Grammys, not that I'm protesting. I just won't be there.
But you are on tour. You're touring black colleges?
Yeah, we did this. What happened was, this is a dream I had in 1983. I just started doing comedy. And they had those NECA conventions. You ever did one of those? You beg colleges to buy you.
Right.
You go to this place and showcase, they go like, well, how much are you? $700? We can't afford you. How much are you? So there's this one black college there. They just wanted somebody for under $200. They're like, who's $200? And they got like a juggler of scarves. And I said, oh, man. I said, it looks so bad. They didn't have bus fare to get back to the college. So I said, one day, whenever I make it big, I'm going to go back and do a tour of black colleges. Yeah. And I said, I'll get a sponsor, so like the tickets are cheap. Tickets like $5 to $10, man.
Who sponsors you?
Coca-Cola is doing the sponsorship. So now we're able to go out and do this 20-city black college tour, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, how do the audiences differ from, like, at the Comedy Store here in Hollywood?
You know what? I haven't been at the Comedy Store, the Improv, I think, in almost a year, man.
Yeah. But a lot of the comedy clubs, aren't they pretty much predominantly...
I started off in black clubs. I ain't talking about black comedy clubs, black disco, where they would say, hey, man, y'all want to hear this brother think he funny? No! And I get to, how y'all doing? Shut up! And I used to, one place, they threw a Cavassier bottle at me, man.
Really?
Because some woman got on the floor, big old woman. And I said, whose big woman is this? And this big brother got up, and she hit him, knocked him back down. I handled my own self. And she chased me around the club. I hid in a storeroom until the club closed up and climbed out a window. Because she was waiting to beat me up out in the parking lot.
So you're used to a different kind of crowd than the comedy.
I walked into a comedy club, and they were sitting like this. I said, they listen? Oh, I gotta do some more of these clubs, Jack. But I tell you, the black clubs were the best thing ever happened to me. And then when I got in the comedy clubs, there were no black people there. I would go into the black community going like, why don't y'all come to comedy club? Comedy club. Richard Pryor gonna be there? I said, no, I'm there. Well, what show you been on? And see, if you ain't done no shows, they ain't gonna spend $4 to come see you. Yeah. You been on Johnny Carson? I said, nah, really, I'm just starting out. Well, why won't spend some money? I'm just funny as you. And so that's how I started out.
So black crowds are traditionally tougher.
Black crowds are tougher. I always have gauged my material when I do a joke. Would a black audience laugh at this? Because if they'll laugh, anybody will laugh. Any group of people on the face of earth will laugh.
Yeah.
Because black folks sit there like this. They pay money to come watch you. Watch him not be funny. I mean, pay money. You see them, even to this day, I go do a show. I went to FAMU, Florida A&M University. They were shouting like before I was walking in. You know, most places, like, we see white crowds, like the band show up, they go like this. Hey, hi! At a black school. You better be funny! You better be funny!
So, when you're on stage, now, I know you're not the kind of person to prepare heckle lines.
No, I just do. I love hecklers, though. I love when people talk to me, because it gives me, I jump off when they do that.
Yeah.
I like people to feel the part of my show.
Because you work probably the toughest, most judgmental room on the planet, the Apollo.
Yeah, I mean, I host. I would not work. Them brothers don't play. I just came back from the Apollo the last couple shows we just did, man. They had a night they decided nobody should win.
Yeah.
They said, not tonight.
Well, you know what I've noticed? Because I never miss it. You know, and it's on earlier now here in LA, so I get to really, really be, like, awake. You know, watching it. And you know what's happening now? Not the amateur thing, but the regular paid professional acts. They're booing them.
They hate comics. They hate, they don't care about you being, and I tell the comics, they come on the show, they come on the show talking about, man, tell them that I did this and that. I said, you just ought to just walk out.
Yeah.
And let them decide what you did.
Yeah.
And I did. He opened up for Johnny Mathis, he opened for Janet Jackson, he opened up, they came out. He should have stayed with Janet. They don't care, man. They don't care.
But you could work that room, though.
I worked the room. That's how I got the gig. But I wouldn't work it on a regular basis. What you do is when you survive the Apollo, you leave. That's it. I won. I'm not coming back. Thank you, victory. Yeah. I'm out of here.
It's kind of a Buster Douglas thing. Yeah, you won, man. Now go on.
Hey, but y'all haven't seen. They boo professional singers.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They booed some singers, and I had to go back out. Y'all, we on TV. Now, let's welcome this man back out for TV. And then they get sarcastic. Oh, yeah! Yeah! But I love the Apollo audience. I love those people.
I would love to go there, man. Even
why don't you go do some stand-up?
If they booed me off, I would just say I was booed at the Apollo.
No, you wouldn't. You be like the rest of them in the back like this. I'm a senior hall. I'm a senior hall. And they go, that's right. Better go back to your late night show.
How many times have you actually worked there, like not hosting the show?
I did stand-up twice. Now I'm trying to go back and do a concert there, just for them, because it's a special group of people for me, man. But I tell you what they do, man. They make people sing. Aaron Hall from Guy was in the audience. Give him the microphone, make him sing. And you got to sing, man. They make Kumo D get up, rap. And you got to get up. And if you don't get up, I ain't buying no more of your album. And they didn't buy the album anyway, but they just say that anyway.
We got to get out of here. Any parting words?
Any parting words, man? I tell you, man, it's always, I want to say to Arsenio, man, you have changed the face of TV. It's a pleasure. And, stay positive. And the main thing is, it's all right for a black man to date a bald-headed white woman in America. We have come that far. The dream is alive. Keep hope alive.
Her lover left her. The cast hates her.
They're plotting against me.
Get rid of her.
And her old flame,
Close list.
is starring opposite her.
Maybe you should have sent a memo.
Sally Field.
I'm the donor. Take my brain.
Kevin Kline.
The world is going to rediscover a major talent.
Robert Downey Jr.
We were both naked and you found it.
We were never naked.
Well, we could have been.
Whoopi Goldberg.
How am I supposed to write for a guy that doesn't have a head?
Soap Dish. Rated PG-13. The Dirt flies on Friday, May 31st at theaters everywhere.
The Whopper from Burger King. Flame broiled, never fried. Fixed fresh, served hot. Your way, right away.
What's that cool going down? What's that chill rushing through you? That's the taste of real refreshment. Just for the taste of it. Diet Coke.
Pop music. Win a 3-inch CD instantly, or get a great cassette offer in specially marked multi-packs of Diet Coke.
The bone on the right cleans dogs' teeth. So does the bone on the left. But in a nationwide taste test, dogs just like yours pick meaty bone 2-to-1. Experts concur. For a tasteful way to clean teeth, there's no bone like a meaty bone.
Looking for a great place to take your family on vacation? Start right here. There's lots of water sports by the seaside. Lots of activities for kids. There's even a supervised children's program. And for those who think a family vacation should include seeing some faraway places, there's no better place to see them than from right here. Take a 3-, 4-, or 7-day fun ship vacation on Carnival, the most popular cruise line in the world.
The drought and the freeze have affected the lives of many Valley families. Fox 26 and Save Mart supermarkets urge you to contribute to Valley Hunger Relief. Simply shop at any Save Mart supermarket in the San Joaquin Valley and pick up a few extra non-perishable items for the needy victims of the drought and the freeze. Leave the items in the special receptacle at the front of the store. The Salvation Army, United Way, and Food Link will distribute your generous donation to those who need it.
Valley Hunger Relief is a community service of Fox 26 and Save Mart supermarkets.
As part of the new edition or Out on His Own.